Melanie lives in an underground bunker, locked in a cell at night and strapped to a wheelchair by day. She believes her childhood is normal, until she's taken up top and discovers her world is overrun by rabid hungries, a sort of zombie controlled by a parasitic fungus that she herself is infected with. With her teacher, Gemma Arterton, a cunning doctor, Glenn Close, and an authoritarian soldier, Paddy Considine, she journeys through plague-ridden London to try and find a cure. Along with its other impressive attributes, The Girl with All the Gifts really stands out because it's rare to see a British film with such a big budget, big cast, and truly impressive blockbuster imagery. And it's very successful. Based on a bestseller by seasoned comics writer Mike Carey, The Girl with All the Gifts really makes the most of its star-studded cast to deliver some great shocks and some impressive imagery. Colm McCarthy's direction is very assured, honed from years of work on top shows like Peaky Blinders, Sherlock and Doctor Who. Endlessly exploring the realities of post-apocalyptic England, McCarthy's eye is focused on lesser seen but still astonishing sights, like the silence and the wind over zombies running after a van in a field, the reclamation of London by nature, a little girl's journey through abandoned houses. Helping things along is a very seasoned and skilled cast. Both Arterton and Close play complex women thrust into a difficult and ambiguous situation. And Considine builds a really dynamic character arc out of what could have been quite a stock soldier role. But the shining star here is young Senya Nanua in the main role of Melanie. For a child character, it's actually a very adult role, and those are often the most difficult for young actors. But Senya believably takes her from a precocious child happy to learn to a... well, I don't want to spoil it for you, but suffice to say, her transformation here is as surprising as it is satisfying. One thing that dogs the film throughout is familiarity. You can occasionally feel like you're ticking boxes on a post-apocalyptic zombie checklist. Soldiers in an underground base, zombies up top. Day of the Dead. Extended CGI-aided zombie raid sequence, World War Z. City overtaken by vegetation, I Am Legend. That's not an accusation of plagiarism, it's a well-trodden genre, and it's inevitable that the film's going to touch on some familiar devices and tropes. But it's a testament to Carey's screenplay, McCarthy's direction, and the skill of the actors that this coalesces into something more than the sum of its parts. A particularly haunting sequence where Arterton explores an abandoned hospital while Close explains the infection to Melanie stands out as a quiet, character-focused moment where a lesser team would have placed a spook house scare sequence. An example of how the film prioritizes humanity over zombies and the way in which it's kind of closer to John Wyndham than George Romero. Last, but certainly not least, the score is incredible. The composer, Cristobal Tapia de Veer, is a rising star of the soundtrack world, having burst onto the scene with Utopia a couple of years ago. His work here is astonishing, simultaneously riffing off the synth-driven scores of The Thing or Day of the Dead, while breaking new ground with creative sampling of vocal parts and distorted sound effects. At its best moments, the music blends into sound effects almost seamlessly, mimicking a wailing siren or the sound of wind blowing through trees, lending an unnatural stillness to the film that rivals that of the Hungries. I really like his music. I think he's a really good composer and I think he's going to carry on doing great work, so more power to you, Christo. You're a good egg. The Girl with All the Gifts is a British homegrown classic, a thrilling exploration of a detailed universe brought to life by talented actors. But it's the deep moral undertones of the film that mark it out as a truly valuable piece of science fiction, concerned as much with the realities of extinction as the schlocky thrills to be found there. Overall, it's definitely worth the price of admission, so go and support this fantastic film. And if you've seen it, let's talk about it in the comments down below. I'd really like to find out what you thought about the movie, especially Christo's beautiful score. Don't forget to click subscribe to get my next review when it comes out. See you next time. Have a good one.